What's up, Overwatchers? Welcome back for another video. Earlier today, I was browsing through my video section on my computer, and I came across an old Overwatch video that I made right when the game came out that I uploaded to my old Overwatch channel. And what this video basically did was show you guys what I believe to be the best controls for console Overwatch players. So I figured, hey, instead of just letting this video disappear like my old Overwatch channel, I thought maybe I could help some of you guys out that play on console and upload it again on this channel. So that's why when you do watch this video, that it's gonna have Relic branding all over the place because that was my old channel name. Also guys, keep in mind this is just when Overwatch came out, and in the background I'm doing some pretty bad Bastion gameplay because honestly I didn't know how to play him yet, so try your hardest to ignore that because honestly it's pretty bad. And one more thing to keep in mind right before I start this video, since it was one of my first videos that I was making on YouTube at the time, I didn't really understand how Audacity and Sony Vegas worked with adjusting audio levels, so at the time I was basically just screaming in my mic so that it picked me up and it sounded clear. So I'm just giving you guys a fair warning because chances are you're gonna have to lower your volume or you're gonna get a headache. But anyway guys, with all that being said, sit back, relax, and hopefully learn something new. Hey guys, how's everyone doing today? Relic here, and today I'm going to be bringing you guys a really helpful tip on how to set up your controls in Overwatch so that you can minimize finger movement and yet maximize your control efficiency. This video is aimed towards new players just starting out or could possibly even help higher level players as well. Don't forget at the end of the video to give it either a thumbs up or a thumbs down based on what you think this video deserves. So, let's get into it. As I'm sure many of you guys who have been subscribed to me for a while know that I play a ton of Call of Duty. On the most recent game, Black Ops 3, I'm over level 100, I have all hero gear and the Dark Matter camo on all my weapons. I use a completely different control setup than most in that I use my bumpers to aim down sights and shoot, the X button is knife, and the circle button is crouch, and pressing down on my right joystick will make me jump. I designed this control setup in Black Ops 3 to work like a scuff controller because I don't have one, and using these controls really gave me an upper hand in gunfights. Spending all of this time on Black Ops 3 while using these bizarre controls, I was concerned whether or not I would enjoy playing Overwatch because of having to basically relearn new controls. However, to my surprise, Overwatch actually has a fully remappable control system, allowing you guys to customize what every button on your controller does. And the best thing is, I was able to copy my Call of Duty controls to a T, and awesomely enough, in my games of Overwatch, I still have a sort of upper hand. Thus why I'm bringing you guys this video, so you guys can copy down these controls on your game so that you guys can have an upper hand as well. First things first, let me cover the sensitivity. Control sensitivity depends on the individual. However, I do feel like if you could either drop down your sensitivity or increase your sensitivity to what you see here, it could be very beneficial. This speed is, in my opinion, the perfect medium between fast and accurate, letting you guys be able to turn around in time and fire back in case you're getting shot from behind, while still being able to be very accurate without overmoving and missing your targets like what happens with extremely high sensitivities. But that's enough for sensitivities. You guys can choose whatever sensitivity is the most comfortable for you. Let's move on to the actual button setup. This is my current setup. Now let me hop in and explain what everything does and why it can help you. I'm going to go over the list starting from the top, so the first control to go over is the crouch button. I remapped crouch to the circle button or B on Xbox because chances are you're barely going to use this while in an active battle. So it being the second farthest button from your joystick isn't a big deal at all. Next up is the jump button. I made the jump button the right joystick click. The reason for that is so you could jump around while still aiming and shooting, making yourself a harder target to hit for enemies while still being able to maintain your accuracy at the same time because you don't have to move your fingers off of the joysticks at all in order to jump. Next up is ability 1, which I assigned to the left joystick click. For many heroes, ability 1 usually have something to do with a type of movement, and even if the hero you enjoy playing as has a first ability that isn't movement, the left joystick click is still a great place to remap ability 1 to. For reasons similar to why I remap jump to the right joystick click, having your ability 1 on the left joystick allows you to execute your ability without ever having to sacrifice movement for even a split second. Doing this allows you to use your ability while still fully engaged in a gun battle. Up next is ability 2, which I customized to make it L2 or the left trigger on Xbox. This ability is usually your support styled ability, and remapping it to your left trigger saves massive time due to the fact that you have to just slide your finger back and nudge the trigger, allowing you to quickly execute that ability. Next up is ability 3. your ultimate ability. I remapped this ability to my right trigger so that if I want to activate the ability while in an active gun battle, I can just slide my right finger back real quick, nudge a trigger, and activate my ultimate ability within milliseconds while still shooting in my gun battle. Now let's move on to what could possibly be the most beneficial remap for your Overwatch gameplay: the primary and secondary fire buttons. I remapped these to L1 and R1, left and right bumpers on Xbox, respectively. The reasoning I did this is because think about this. When you use your right trigger to shoot a semi-automatic weapon, you have to pull the trigger down to a certain degree for it to register as a shot. And to shoot again, you have to let it raise back up and pull it back down again. Doing this creates a minuscule time delay before you shoot. This small delay could leave you vulnerable to a player that has their controls set up like mine. When you move your primary fire action from your trigger to your bumper doesn't have to travel as far before it's registered as a shot. Meaning that for roughly every 2 trigger squeezes, you could tap the bumper 3 times because there's less travel time in between each shot, making your opponent's shooting speed incomparably slower than yours. And with this logic, it only makes sense to assign your secondary fire to your L1 button, or left bumper. Once again, allowing you to execute this ability faster than any other button and allowing you to never have to move your fingers off of your default controller holding spots. Now let's go over the X button or the A button on Xbox. I made this the punch button due to the fact that it's the closest button to the right joystick, allowing you to hit that button very fast if you're in close combat and you need to hit it pretty quickly. The square button, or X on Xbox, is the reload button. This is because it's still close to the joystick and allows you to hit the button extremely fast when you need to reload. And last but not least, the triangle button, or Y on Xbox. I made this the weapon swap button, basically only because that is the weapon swap button in Call of Duty and that's really what I'm used to. And you don't typically have to swap very often, so that's why I set it as the farthest button away from the joysticks. So guys, that's the most effective and best button setup you can have in Overwatch. This setup minimizes finger movement, allowing for smooth, fluid, and hand-relaxing gameplay. I understand that remapping your controls to this crazy extent may be extremely hard for you guys to get used to, as it took me a few days to master them on Call of Duty. But I do guarantee that eventually you will get used to them and they will benefit your gameplay greatly. Just stay dedicated and you'll eventually get the hang of it, I promise. And if you don't believe that this tip is an actual legit tip, why don't you try it out, and on your 3rd day, I guarantee you will see a huge difference in your gameplay. So yeah guys, that about sums it up for this video. I hope that it didn't blow your ears out, because looking back on this video, I had no idea really what I was doing at the time. But nonetheless, I hope that you guys did learn something new and enjoyed this video. And don't forget, if you play on console and it helped you out, to please hit that like button and share this video with your friends, because this control setup really does work, and that's the one that I'm usually using in the background gameplay when you guys see me playing as McCree. So yeah guys, that about sums it up for what I believe to be the best control setup for console Overwatch players. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button to see Overwatch highlights every single weekday. So yeah, with all that being said, I'll see you guys on Monday.